Hey guys, sorry for interrupting. I'm Lou Nieves Jr. alongside
Jesse Torres. And today we are going to speak about men having to pay on a first date.
What do you mean men having to pay on the first date?
Yep. On the first date, men pays for everything.
I don't know what world you live in, but I mean, I know we talked a little bit about what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about.
I'm just kidding.
So today in episode 18, we are discussing the rules of dating.
The rules.
Yeah, the rules of dating, and well, not so much dating, the first date, really.
First date.
And our experience as
And
far
people's expectations.
Yeah, as far as the first date is concerned, I know for me and for you, we've both been the one being taken out and the one taking the other person out. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know
The dater and the datey.
So before we get into it, I just want to say that we are very grateful for this opportunity to be on your TV screens or YouTube if you're watching us on your phones. Also, if you're listening to us, thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. So I want to take that time out to thank everybody in
Yes.
this new year, new decade.
Yes.
And
like, comment, and subscribe down below.
So let's get right into it. I know a lot of people have this perspective that it's an old-fashioned thing when you take someone on a date. Mm-hmm. You are, as a man, obligated to pay for the date. And in some retrospects, I guess you could say rightfully so, the man should pay. But I think it should not just be the man. I think the person who initiates the date, like, hey, I would like to take you out. If the person,
Which is most likely the man.
Yeah, but there have been times where a woman
Would ask, yeah,
would
because that's
ask.
happened to you.
It's happened to me because I've been through it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And before I started dating Jesse, it actually happened to me where a woman was interested. She hit me up in the DMs. We met previously to the DM conversation, and she felt that, you know, maybe we should take this conversation beyond the DM and go out. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, what do you want to do? And it was the typical quote unquote dinner and a movie, right? Why are you laughing?
Because that's typically what it is.
Yeah, and I enjoy that because I love film. So yeah, and this was when what was it? Oh, the Justice League movie came out. Jesse doesn't know what that is, but this was a few years back, and I know I had to drive like an hour and a half to her. So, you know, I'm driving to her. I get there, and she comes out in sweats, and I'm like, okay, I'm all dressed.
Our first date.
Yeah. And you asked me. So I'm dressed in my best. I got my hair cut, new clothes, smelling good. And she's like, oh, you know, I haven't been feeling well. In my mind, I'm like, okay, even if you weren't feeling well and you had discussed this with me prior, you should still at least dress up. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, I hope you don't mind. I'm not feeling well. It's like, okay.
It was like, take me as I am.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And I to be honest, I said, sure, I'm already here. I drove an hour and a half and you're taking me out. So, you know. So we get there, and she's like, oh, did you get the tickets? I'm like, huh? I was like, what? She took me. She didn't take me. This is a long story short. She didn't take me. I had to buy the tickets last minute. We went to this theater called iPic, which I've been telling Jesse it's amazing theater, but I just didn't have a great experience the first time I went. So the tickets alone were like $52, mm-hmm. But you kind of get like your own booth, and you get a blanket and a pillow, and it's not just
like a loungy.
Yeah, it's really cool,
mm-hmm.
but it's really expensive. And then the food menu came, and I'm like, I guess I'm paying for everything. So I just said to myself, if I'm gonna pay for it, I'm gonna get what I want. So mm-hmm. I got my food, she got her food.
And that's because you went in there thinking she asked me out, so she's going to pay.
Yeah, I mean, mm-hmm. anyone would think that. Mm-hmm. You know, if I say, hey, Jesse, you want to go have lunch? You would think in a dating term, not just as friends, because as friends, you can be like, hey, you want to come with me? This is like, hey, she said, I would like to take you out. Okay. And
And not even being cocky where she could say, I want you to take me out. Because then that would have been like, okay.
yeah,
So
she's
then I
the
would
one that
decide.
initiated. Yeah, she
Mhm.
initiated it, and I was like, all right, cool. So the bill comes, and she's like, oh, I'll pay for the food. The food was nowhere near the amount that it was for the tickets. It was
Mhm.
like $30, $40. Plus, I had to pay for parking, and I drove, so I had to pay gas, toll, all that stuff. It really should have been she picked me up at 8, she bring me to the theater, but that would have made no sense because it would have been an hour there, then I was going to.
You're getting so detailed.
Yeah, but nah. But yeah, I have been on the other side, and it was I was expecting because she said, "Hey, can I take you out?" But I know for you, you have, and we've been talking about this prior to recording this conversation that you've been on that side too, where you were in a situation. You give them the story. You go ahead.
Which one?
Well, the opposite, like
Being taken out?
yeah, being taken out as a woman from a guy's, I gave you the perspective of a man, the expectancy, like, oh, I'm the man, I'm the one that usually does it. But you as a female, now you're the one asked, hey, can I take you out? What's your expectation from the woman's side? Like, hey, he's going to take me out, so, I don't have to pay for anything. Like, what's your mindset when that happens?
Okay, so it depends on where I was at in my life, right?
Okay.
So when I wouldn't say like dating because I wasn't really dating, but that one time that I went on a date, I went in there saying I'll pay. Like my intentions was I'm going on this date, but I'm paying half of it. Like I'm paying my portion of it. So I had cash on it.
Okay, so
I had
you were
cash on me.
prepared.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when the bill came, I put my money.
Okay.
And then he was the one that said, no, I got this. Okay. So then when it came to the movie, so that he paid for the dinner. And then when we went to the movies, because it was dinner and the movie,
Okay.
we went to movies, I paid for the movies. And I felt like it was an even share because I don't think it needs to be where it's all the guys, like it's the guys.
And this is why I chose her, just so you know.
Which our first... Actually, it wasn't our official date. It was
But
just
go
our
ahead, tell 'em.
meetup.
Yeah.
We went half on it.
I told Jessie, she was giving me like a 3-week time frame. Like, oh, I can't do it this week. Or maybe I have to do it next week.
He said, can I meet up with you? And I said, yeah, in 2 weeks because I was getting my daughters. And if you heard our podcast before on how we started, we met on a weekend that I didn't have my daughters. So,
but when we first met, it was opposite.
You had your son,
I had Louis,
I
you didn't have the
didn't. Yes.
girls. Yeah.
So then my whole thing was I'm not going to put my daughters to the side to go see somebody.
Rightfully so.
So you were saying, oh, when can I see you? And I'm like, in 2 weeks when I don't have them anymore. When I don't have them that weekend. And then you said, oh, no, I need to see you right away.
Yeah.
So then we planned a meetup. And I didn't want to call it like our first date because it was our first time meeting. Yeah. So I didn't want it to be that it's like our first date. Yeah. So we met up and then we did the same thing. I paid for half. I paid my half.
Yeah, we went to IHOP, and she said, "This is not a date." I was like, "All right, whatever."
I even have it. I still have it in my planner where I put meeting with Louis, not a date.
In her scrubs before work.
Yes.
And I'm telling her, like, this is consider this a date, like we're meeting up, we're gonna eat, and she's like, no, this is not a date. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, sure. And it was just for us to meet. We got to know one another a little bit from that one breakfast meeting, but then we continued to talk, and
not many would consider that a date. Like, it didn't matter to me. Like, that could have been our first date, just because I was like, okay, this is our first time meeting, like, so I didn't want to consider it being a date. But some people have like a big problem being like a meetup for coffee, like as a first date. It has to be a dinner. Like I had a friend who she would deny you, like she would reject you and say, no, I'm not going on a date, or I'm not going, to meet up with you for coffee. Our first date has to be a dinner.
So to the audience, I asked you this, and you can leave a comment on our video or leave a comment in our audio podcast. What do you consider a date? Like, does a date necessarily have to be at a certain time? Can it be at lunch? Can it be at breakfast time? Does it have to be a dinner?
Yeah.
Can it be just
That's
coffee?
interesting to know what other people may think.
Yeah, because in my mind, I see a date where it's an opportunity for both parties get to meet up and get to talking and have a conversation and get to know a little bit about one another, because there's only so much you can do over the phone and through text. I think more of that personal, intimate conversation of one-on-one where you see someone, you see their facial expressions, and you get to like feel that body language to see if they're feeling you or not. You can tell a lot by the person's body language and how they react to what you say, because if you text something and then the person see the text message and like, you know, it's different.
You can't
when
read
you're in person.
emotions
Yeah,
through text.
it's hard.
That's one.
Yeah.
And two, even if you're talking on the phone, it's not the same as when you're face to face. You could feel something.
Because they could be doing something else too while they're on the phone with you, believe it or not. They can be, you know, have you in the headphones and be scrolling through the internet.
Yes.
And it's different
But when
you're
it's face to face,
you have to have that eye contact. You have to have.
And I think you will know.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah. Of
whether
course.
you can go for a next date, not like right away whether this person's gonna be in your life
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
But you can see, okay, is this gonna take? You know, are we gonna take it to another date?
I agree.
Are we not? This is gonna be the end of it. That you get to feel.
Yeah.
The vibes,
Yeah.
the energy. But people's expectations, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people would not be okay with just breakfast or just a meetup.
Yeah.
They want the whole dinner and a movie.
Yeah, dinner
or
and a movie. But
I feel that sometimes the movie part.
I had a girl tell me this one time about the movie thing. She's like,
you're not talking. You're not
That's what she
really.
said.
You're
Yeah.
really not like getting to know each other. Like through dinner, yes, because you're talking.
Yeah.
But you're literally uncomfortable probably at the movie theaters. And you're sitting next to this person, and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna watch this movie.
it's
now,
quiet time.
Yeah, like it's quiet time. You don't know where to put your hands. The guy doesn't know whether should I approach, should I do the,
I've never
you know,
done
should
that.
I do the whole yawning and then just like, or like, you know, the woman doesn't know if she should put her hands on the leg. You know, like there's so many things,
Okay.
but not, you know, that does cross somebody's head. It's like, and then the whole kissing at the end of the night, like. Do we kiss? Do we
man.
not kiss? There's so much that
There's
goes
a lot
into
of
like the
awkward
first
moments.
date.
Yeah. So I did go on a date with a woman before where we had breakfast and we went to see Venom at an early like viewing. And she's like, "Oh, I don't believe in movies on a date." And I said, "Why not? Like, what's wrong with it?" She goes, "Oh, because we don't have a conversation. We don't converse with one another. We really can't get to know each other." I'm like, "But you and I know each other." Like, she goes, "Yeah, but this is like kind of like our first official date kind of thing. It shouldn't be us." And I was like, "Oh, but this is supposed to be a good. This is supposed to be a good movie. Let's go see it." And she's like, "Oh, I really don't care for it." Then she ended up saying, "Yeah, let's go for it." And then when we got out of the movie, we both didn't like it. And it was like we wasted our time. And I was like, "But we don't know what it's gonna be." But I get it. If you're looking to get to know the person, maybe the movie is not the movie.
And if
and
it's
dinner-
especially
the
if
dinner
it's
movie's
too soon, like if you guys haven't been speaking on the phone or really like getting to know each other,
Yeah.
then the movie is like, okay, you
So
could
then,
do
what would be your recommendation for like a first date besides dinner and the movie? Should it be something spontaneous? You jump out of a plane?
no, not spontaneous like that where you're jumping out of a plane, but something fun. Well, you'll find, okay, this is the thing, right? You could
Wine and
also, yes,
I don't.
you
paint.
could, but okay, but you
She
could
took me
find
to it.
out while you're talking. You could find out each other's interests and see, you know, like a
guess.
Dave and Buster's now. It's Dave and Buster's. You get to be you. It's like, you know, there's people around, and you see how the flow goes.
Yeah.
It gets, you know, and then you can see if the person is very shy. It's not their thing. But the movies, you're really not gonna know too much. Like our first date, we went to movies and we went to eat, right?
Yeah, but we already established.
But we already did, yeah.
Yeah, like our
So-
first official date.
Yeah, our first
But we're talking
official,
about,
but that was
like-
like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but
In.
what I'm saying is like, I meet you in the store. First of all, I don't approach anyone. I've never done it. If I did, it was in school, and I'm like, "Hey, can I borrow a pencil?" And then I start a conversation because I don't got game. But
And we are okay, by the way. We are so open with each other talking about our past, and like we don't
Yeah.
have anything where we're like,
There's
oh,
no
why are you
jealousy
bringing?
or
Yeah,
resentment towards
why are you
it.
bring up all these dates that you've been? To?
Yeah,
It
'cause
doesn't
if-
matter because this is all before we came into each other's life.
Yeah, and it's not about me bragging. It's just
Yeah.
been on multiple dates prior to Jesse.
Yeah,
I'm
you had more
32.
dates than I have.
So I've. This is
You
not
were
my
dating
first
a
rodeo.
lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but what I'm saying is that, and that's a good point. That what you're saying is like, you know, that you're not uncomfortable, and neither am I. Even when Jessie tells me things about her past, I'm intrigued because I want to know like how she handled the situation or how things went down prior. But to get to the point, what I'm saying is, when you're dating the person, and again going back to when I was out, when I went out on a date, those movie and date things, it's better for us after you know the person. But when you're first meeting the person, it's very important to really get to know them. I know a lot of people jump to the first thing, it's like dinner and a movie. It's so common, so easy, but do a little bit more thinking. Like, and for me, like I said, like I don't approach women like, "Hey, girl, how you doing? You looking good?" I don't like that. Right there doesn't even sound cool. So in college and even outside of college, I never was the person to spit game. Like if I see a girl walking the street, I just look at her like, she look good. Okay, keep it moving. If we see each other's class one day, maybe I'll ask her for a pencil. But yeah, it's never been my approach to women. I would be one of those, not a creepo, but like I'll hit you in the DM or instant message or something of that sort.
It's not like a direct.
Yeah, it would never. Even if
Now,
Jesse and I
did you
broke up
do it
today, I would
because-
never. Still to this day, I would never approach a girl.
Now, did you do it because you're afraid of being rejected?
Yeah,
Okay.
big.
And that,
fear.
you know what, that takes a lot for guys. Like I give it
Yeah.
to them because like us girls, we have it okay.
I see guys say like, what do I have to lose? She wasn't with me before. If I win her, I win her. If I don't, I'll just keep it moving.
But just that rejection is just like, oh.
Man. Like,
But then there's girls that
I've never been rejected because I never approached it. And if I did, like, I never, like, I knew when the right time was to approach it because I had the conversation. If I felt the vibe, then I'm like, all right, this is it.
like you had that open door.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can ask.
Yeah,
You could go for it.
exactly.
Like, go for it.
And I know I'm not the only one that's done this before. For me, it's a I don't want to say insecurity thing because I'm confident in myself, but it's like I don't want to say the wrong things to make her feel like, oh, he wants his ass. Like, no, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. I feel like you're
That's so
interesting.
common though now, and they
What do you
like
mean?
people approach for that.
Well,
'Cause
I mean,
even,
well,
like-
it's easier now with Tinder and
Yeah,
those social
because
apps.
when I was in Tinder, that was a lot of,
Yeah, you'll get that Bumble and
and they
you
were
name
so
it,
yeah,
Zoox
they were so open with it. Like, I'm here for
Yeah,
for
I'm
that,
here to get
and
some.
are you? And I'm like, no.
Are you ready for this? I'm about to give you this. What's that emoji?
Eggplant.
The eggplant emoji. I'm ready to give you these eggplants. You about to take a lot of these eggplants.
And then it's like,
but no, seriously, I know we are joking here, but no, in reality, when you are on a date, it's really important to really get to know the person before you jump to the dinner and movie. And I know everyone has done it, and maybe it's been a beneficial thing for you as the individual that took the person out, whether you be a man or female, male or female.
or at least just ate dinner. Leave the movie for, or like either lunch. I mean, breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I
But
think
leave the
just
movie out.
I think just eating is so blah. Like, okay, we went to eat. She's full, he's full, and
Well, that's true.
Nice
but I
knowing you,
mean, some people like to be filled.
well, I mean, everyone likes to eat,
Yeah.
but I feel that.
Oh, that's another thing. Okay, it's a little bit off.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
How do you feel since you don't drink, right? And you've had this before, where now the bill's on you.
Okay.
You don't drink, but now you're feeling forced to drink.
Well, no, okay.
Or go ahead, you say your story.
So what Jesse's referring to is the whole fake it to. Sorry for that.
Well,
There was a car driving
it's really
by.
nice outside. We have the windows up.
Yeah. So there was a time where I was on a date and I used to drink, not like a lot, but when I was younger in my early 20s, I would drink a lot. I was part of an auto club, so it was a lot of drinking. But it wasn't to the point where I was drinking to get drunk. It was just like, I'm with the guys, we have a Corona or, shots of Hennessy before we go out and whatever. But after that stage of my life, I really stood away from drinking because I really don't like the taste. I don't like the taste of beer, and I don't really care for wine. But I would have a sip or two if it came up. And when I was on a couple of dates with this female, she would drink a lot. And she wasn't an alcoholic, but every time we go out to eat, she would never get like a soda or water, it was like, oh, I want this mixed drink, or I want that mixed drink, and I want this martini. Like, I don't even know names of drinks, and I'm like, okay, I'll get what she's getting,
To be down.
just to be like I don't look like out of place. Like, she's drinking, and I'm not. I'm just having a water. Like, in my mind, it felt weird, you know. And I'm like,
you had to do it to
I
impress her.
had to
kind
do
of.
it to impress her. Yeah, so I was doing things that were out of my character to try to impress her, to, you know, I guess, to approach her in a way to further the relationship, to see how far it will go. Because I was interested and I wanted to move forward, but you know, after time has went on, it's like, why do I have to be someone else just to be with someone? I should be able to be myself. And I know that sounds cliche, but it says, oh, be yourself. But it's true. Please do not feel intimidated by a female or male that you have to be someone you're not to be with
just
that
like
person.
women want to be like proper, and they want to eat like a salad, or they don't want to go and eat like their steak that they really usually eat at that restaurant.
I keep thinking of white chicks. But
But they're trying to be like, you know, conservative, and
Yeah.
and I get it, because you don't want to be like, "Rah," like white chicks. But you also still want to be true to yourself
Yeah.
and who you are, you know, because even on our non-official date, when we went to to IHOP, I had the scrambled eggs with cream cheese.
Oh, I was like, what is that?
Even the waitress was like,
Oh, yeah, I remember the waitress. She said,
you sure? And I'm
"You
like,
sure?"
yeah, they do that. I was like, yeah, it tastes so good. You guys should try it.
Don't try it.
He doesn't like. That's a different topic. He's
Okay,
very
continue.
picky.
So you got the eggs and cream cheese.
Yeah, but had I not, because that's usually if I was hungry for it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was open, even though for you was looking at me like, that's disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
but I was still being true to me.
And I love that. I love that
Yeah.
you didn't do something that you were not accustomed to.
Yeah, like I wasn't gonna go get myself pancakes when I don't eat pancakes from there.
Yeah. Like, you looked at me like, oh, wow, you're eating a lot, because I love breakfast. This is my favorite
Yeah,
part of the
because you
day.
had your orange juice, your
Orange
hot
juice,
chocolate, your
pancakes, eggs, you
And I
name it,
was-
I had it. I love breakfast. But yeah, Jessie, she was herself, and I appreciated that. And I think people should be more who they are and not be who they think they should be to impress the other person. If you're not, if you have to, in the beginning of the date, if
You have to fake it.
it's not worth it, because
Yeah.
now you have to keep up with that the entire time.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with a lie. Like, if you lie about something, you got to continue that lie until it's forgotten about.
Because you have to remember.
Yeah,
It's like,
you just
oh,
got
I
to be
told
true to yourself. Be you.
Be you.
You know, be all. I was gonna say be all you could be, but it's not the same thing. But yeah, dating is not easy. There's a lot of anxiety for it. You know, you gotta. First impressions are important.
Yes.
People say don't read a book by its cover, but people do. People do. They see you for the first time, and they judge you based on that. Especially like back in, I don't want to say back in the day, but there are times where I had picked up a female at her house, and the parents were there, and they're like, hello, come inside. And then they start asking me questions like, you know, I didn't expect this to happen.
It's
So,
like, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just getting to see, like,
yeah,
where
just,
it's going to go.
just taking her Applebee's, man. You know, there's nothing wrong with that either. There are people that feel that they need to go to this high-end restaurant or go to this city or, you know, spend all this money. No, it's just an opportunity for two people to get to know one another, regardless if it's in McDonald's or Applebee's or Dave & Buster's or Starbucks. It's just an opportunity to get to know someone. And and if the person doesn't approve of that and you do, maybe you should just keep it moving, you know, because you want to be able to have that equal, you know, respect for one another and understanding. You know, there's someone for everyone. Maybe there's someone out there that wants to do
And
what
that's
that person's
part
doing.
of dating, right?
Yeah.
Dating is not just dating one person and expecting you're gonna live the rest of your life with them.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna go and date, you're gonna meet different people, and some people are, you know, like you're gonna probably go through 5 dates and be like, no, and then you
Yeah.
have that one that's like, yes, and it's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh man, and I hate bringing up my past, but Jessie doesn't care. We've talked about this before, so this is the first time y'all hearing it. But for 2 years of being single, I went on multiple dates, and I've engaged in multiple relationships. Nothing concrete. It was nothing official, but it was more about like, we are exclusive, but there's no title kind of thing. And I had multiple of those, and it just didn't work out. Not that the plan. After I've talked about this before in the past, not that they were bad people. They just weren't for me, and wasn't something I was looking for. In the beginning, it was like, you're attractive, and you're attracted to me, so let's keep it moving and see where it goes. But if in the beginning, I mean, listen, no one's perfect, but if you get that vibe in the beginning of each date, there's not gonna, don't continue to pursue it thinking that something's gonna change.
There's always red flags. There's always red flags.
Yeah.
So if you feel a red flag, like you feel something is not right,
that's it.
Just end it, because that whatever you felt is no, because that whatever you felt is what's gonna cause that breakup later on. Because you're gonna be like, oh, I knew it from the first date. But I ignored it because I was like, oh, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah.
And then that was the reason why you guys end up breaking up.
Dating
or
is
like
hard.
Not working.
That's why they come up with these apps like eHarmony and those
Christian and Mingo and
not Mingo, Mingle. Should sound like Christian Mango. No, but no, there are sites that you pay for the dating, because dating is hard, especially now in the generation.
I remember when I went on Zeus, they asked me to pay $29.99 to get my messages. I was like, I'm not that desperate.
It's just, I think the day and age
just
that we are,
have a conversation.
The dating scene, it's more instant now because of the swiping and filling out your biography and then having to match you with someone. It's a lot easier. It's faster. You don't want to. I mean, it's still out there. It's still available. The speed dating. You've seen it in movies. I never was interested in that. I was afraid of that.
I wanted to do that.
I think you should do it and see what happens. I mean,
really?
You're gonna leave and come back home to me. But,
oh my God!
But I just want to know your experience. Like,
are you serious right now? Ignore him. We're at 27 minutes.
Oh wow, Jesse's checking the time.
Yes, I am.
But before we go,
cut you off. One craziness over here.
If you are single and you're dating, you should try speed dating and then get back to us and let us know how that experience went for you. If you are not interested in speed dating, continue to date. Continue to have that positive attitude, because there's always someone out there for you. You know what I mean?
It's not bad dating.
Yeah. And also another thing is,
just be careful.
What do you mean, babe? Be careful. Should they carry a knife with them?
No, maybe a mace. You never know.
Damn. Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, there are stories out there.
Yes, there is.
But that's anywhere you go. Not even on dates. Like when you leave your home, maybe you should protect yourself. Wow. Yeah. Good thing she didn't have mace, because she would have missed. Get over here.
Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed our
that was like
episode.
Oh, guys, thank you for joining my show.
So
like she
sad.
wanted to get sad, but no, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate the love and support that you guys have continued to do so, and we really, really appreciate everything that you guys do. So that is our story.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
She cut me off again.
And we'll see you guys on the next. Oh wait, no.
Anyway,
go ahead.
It's been nice knowing you guys. Hope you come back for next episode. We love
That's
you guys.
our story.
We're sticking to it.
Yep.
Sticking to it. You messed me up. That's our ending. Peace. We love you.